You've reached the Titus Podcast.
Hey everybody, this is Willie Jello Johnson. You got us at the Titus Podcast. Never unbiased, always unbalanced. You want to hit us up? Go to The Real Christopher Titus on Facebook or at Titus Nation on the Twitter. Or you can hit us up on the internets at ChristopherTitus.com for the best damn comedy you ever heard. And now with the Armageddon Update, Christopher Titus.
I'm Christopher Titus, and welcome to the Armageddon Update. And to all the people that made this country great, all the English immigrants, Irish immigrants, the Russian, German, and numerous Asian immigrants, time to pack your stuff and go. That's right, we are sending everyone back to where they came from. So put your rusky, chink, mick, Jew, spick asses on a fast plane back to where you came from. I personally have to go back to England. And to all the black people that immigrated here, against their will, you guys get to go back to your home country. Yay, in first class because, well, we feel bad. It was a really horrible way you guys were integrated into the workforce. Again, I'm Whitey, and I apologize. You know, I'm watching the news and seeing thousands of children pour over our borders. These small children taking our jobs and our women, bringing tons of drugs in their anuses, or ani. I don't know the plural of anus, which is another reason to send me back to where my people came from. But these children are going to break us. Yeah, you kids, take your Pampers and your fear of being murdered in your own country and go home. Listen, immigrants, and I'm talking to everyone, because unless your name is Running Bear, Flies with Eagles, or Dances with Seizures, your people ain't from here. They left the famine in Ireland or Germany in the 30s because Hitler was getting all lippy. You know, they weren't on Stalin's good list or thought that Agent Orange wasn't the moisturizer the United States said it was. So pack your crap and get the hell out of this country we stole. Damn you, Obama, letting these evil drug-dealing, white girl-raping toddlers cross our border. Yeah, it's your policies that made it so we can't send them back. What? Hold on, I'm being handed something from my staff. What is it? In 2008, Congress passed the William Wilberforce Trafficking Victims Protection Reauthorization Act, TVPRA, which the Senate passed by unanimous consent and was signed by President George W. Bush. Oh. Though the law's main intent deals with human trafficking, it does contain a section that deals with children arriving in the U.S. illegally, unaccompanied by an adult. Haha, guess what? These kids can't be sent back unless they have a hearing. Oh, damn you, George Bush, for making it so we can't send people back without a hearing. So what do? Well, ask yourself, what if roaming gangs or criminals were kidnapping, killing, or selling your children into the sex trade and the government did nothing? You know, the government doing nothing, like our current House of Representatives. You know, not the killing or selling, because at least then they would actually be doing something. You know, what would you do? Watch your kids die, starve, or be raped? Or would you pack them a lunch, hand them a map, and send them to the golden, shining country up north, where things are so good we have time to worry about Kim and Kanye and watch a television show where D-list celebrities dance? Dancing with the Stars, I think, is pretty much of a stretch. Look, I have two kids, and if their lives were in danger and there was a loophole in the law that would make it so they could live, so that they could survive and maybe have a life in a country that was built on immigration, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Remember that? Yeah. That was a welcome when your people came here, but now that we got ours, we don't want anyone else to get theirs. Sad. So the next time you're yelling at your 60-inch television, eating food that you ordered and picked up in your damn car, or had it delivered because you couldn't leave this episode of America's Got Talent, think about these kids who left from another continent, rode on top of a train for thousands of miles, eating bugs and cactus just so they could work and live a life without the daily threat of death hanging over them. You know, I'll be honest, that kid will grow up loving this country when we let him in, and will appreciate what he has. He will live the American dream of freedom, safety, and opportunity. The American dream that so many of us bitch about on Facebook. The American dream that we have forgotten or mocked. The American dream that to them is as real as the sweaty stink of the 20 other people crammed into a truck being smuggled across the border into the best place on the planet. A place built on immigrants that now hates immigrants. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Hello, everybody. Christopher Titus, Titus Podcast. That's right. Everybody who's listening came from somewhere else. At least your people did. I love how we all get fired up about how these damn immigrants are ruining our country. You mean if you go back 4 generations, you mean your family that was immigrants that came here? I'm from England, for God's sakes. Now, I will say the Bombshell to my right, how you doing?
Hi, what's up, people?
Has a portion of her that's American Indian. So does Mom. So do I, actually.
No.
I have
Yes, I do.
portion.
We don't believe it.
Grandpa Titus. Oh, Grandpa Titus was American. You see a picture of him, you'll go, holy crap, that's an Indian.
You're the whitest man.
Grandma was from England. Grandma was the whitest, bad-toothed, skinny, curly-haired English person in the world. And she met my grandpa, Aaron Titus, was Indian.
Your street name, I think, is Alabaster Pink.
It is, man. Alabaster clear. I got it. Well, it's summer. It's summer. So I'm
You got
alabaster
some
pink.
color.
Yeah, it's alabaster pink now.
Was that your description of English people
I was
in
thinking
general?
that.
Yeah, most of the time. I mean, look, the best they could do is Hugh Grant. That was their A-list guy they sent over. You know, even the guy, even Harry, who's had every thing in his world, his hair just fell out in like a week. Did you guys notice that? He had all his hair, and then like a week later, he was balding.
Jude Law.
Jude Law, come on.
Hair fell out.
It went bad fast. I'm saying English, every Englishman has an expiration date right on his left butt cheek. And it says you will be good, and your voice will sound cool, and you'll look good up to here. Bob Hoskins, older Bob Hoskins, okay, but then all of a sudden, in one day, he went. The only guy who's held on to it, and even he looks a little funky now, is I don't know what your name is.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. Yeah.
What about...
I still look good because I've lived in America forever. Elton John, what the hell happened to Elton John? All the English go horribly bad.
yeah, I'm trying to think of one.
Think of one. Think of one Englishman that has held on
I
to
think
it.
that's why our really good-looking actors just took the accent, like Cary Grant. Like he just pretended that he had the accent.
Yeah, that was such a weird accent too. He put on the Cary Grant had this weird. It wasn't quite English. Wasn't quite like Midwest.
Hello, love.
It wasn't really like Rhode Island, Connecticut-y. It was this weird combination of all of them.
Cary Grant was English.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
Originally, was he?
Yeah.
His real name was... do you know his real name?
Yeah, Schmurgalik. It was like Mulhaney. It's some crazy...
No, it was...
Balderdash, Clarenceburg. It was really bad.
Balderdash Clarenceburg.
Something like that. It was something like that. Look it up. You'll be like...
I know his name.
What was it?
Archie Leach.
That's
Archie
right.
Leach, that's right.
Can you get much more English than that?
Archie Leach, eh?
He actually was born in England.
There you go. So he basically
I'm glad I can
Americanized
be
it.
here for
Good
you.
call. Well, good
But
call.
they
Glad we have a historian.
The first thing on his Wikipedia page is they say that he was known for his transatlantic accent. That's not
what they
why I
called
know
it.
him.
I like it. By the way, what a good name for a band.
I know because of his...
But it's a kind of a weird jazz band that plays clubs. Hey, we're a transatlantic accent. Nice to meet you. That's the name of us.
It's New Age.
Yeah, but Archie Leach is named for a punk band.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're Archie Leach.
All right.
So here's my thing. So I've been paying attention to this immigration thing for a while. I've tried to come up with an opinion about it. My initial opinion about it was I'm really tired of all these countries sending their people to us. Then I thought about it some more, and I thought, okay, our border policy for the last 3 administrations has been just a nightmare, just a raging nightmare. It's not working across the board anywhere. Reagan actually gave all the illegal immigrants amnesty, and we were fine for about 12, 15 years, and then it went to crap again. So my thing now is, in this specific case, we don't have a bunch of cartel guys coming across. We have a bunch of parents who, in South America, Honduras, Guatemala, said basically they're getting their kids kidnapped. They're being held by gangs for money, and they said, get out of here. And they sent the kids on this train that goes all the way to South. They're calling it the death train because that's what the news has to do. They can't just call it a train that people sit on. It's the death train, the beast, the death train. They sent them here, and they're walking across the border. My problem with it is that now I see people stopping buses, and I go, okay, wait, stop. These are kids. These are kids. We have to figure something out. Do they belong here? Was it right for their parents? No. But if your kids, okay, let's say you're the beautiful young mother that you still look like, by the way. Mm-hmm. But you have your kids, and you know that the neighborhood is going to kill them, and there's really nothing you can do about it. What do you do?
What would I do?
Yeah.
I would move.
Right, you'd move.
I would take my children
to another town,
to another place,
with the same, like America.
Well, not necessarily America, but
but if that was,
Christopher is, I always feel like you simplify things to the point where it's impossible to really to really look at it in a balanced kind of way.
So
It's
I
not
win
that
then. So I win
simple.
then.
Yeah, you always
So
win.
I win. There you go.
That's
So I win.
simplification.
So I simplify. I'm the Sesame Street of politics. I like to break it down to the
A
letter.
one,
The letter.
a two, three.
One immigrant, two immigrant, three immigrant. There's 54,000. It's going to take a while. 12 immigrant, 2,326 immigrant.
That's the worst Sesame Street episode ever.
The count is now a Border Patrol agent. 323,000 immigrants. Now I'm going to check their anuses for drugs.
No.
Yes, that's what he would do. One bag of heroin. two bags.
Oh my gosh.
3 balloons of heroin. See,
Is it over?
no, it's not. He'll come back later in the episode today, I'm sure.
Okay.
Count as a border guard. We've simplified immigration by having a Sesame Street character act as
I think that's what Agent Pink Squashy does.
He would love that. Agent Pink Squashy's more of the Grover of immigration. You can't come across that lake.
Is that the dude in the garbage can?
No, that's Oscar the Grouch.
That's Agent Pink
Grover is
Squashy.
the guy that speaks like this. I watch Lake Erie. Canadian, go back.
That's exactly what Grover said.
I think you've just solved the whole Border Patrol problem. Nobody likes Border Patrol except who couldn't love that Border Patrol?
There you go. That's their new logo on the side of the trucks. We just put Sesame Street characters.
What
in the
about Bert
in the
and
green
Ernie?
stripe. Bert and Ernie. Oh, that's a gay marriage issue. It's a gay marriage issue. Thank you. Finally, 3 weeks. You're finally here.
Yo, how you doing, people? Good to see you.
Yay.
Yo, I hear you talking about immigration. That's what I heard. How you doing, Mom?
Willie.
Oh, what's up, baby? You look good. I like me a girl with a little southern in her mouth. Well,
You like you a girl with anything in her.
True that.
All right, sit down. Just shut up. Okay, listen. So you've been gone for 3 weeks. He just walks in and takes over. He looks at Willie and I'm talking about a serious issue as a Sesame Street character. So, and when that happens, I think everyone should shut up. So go ahead. What were you going to say? Now I didn't simplify it. By the way, I would say I disagree with you. The problem with our country right
That's
now.
surprising.
The problem with our country right now is I believe every issue is complicated to the point where it's unmanageable or unmovable. And that's what we have done. Both houses have done it, and we keep doing it. Politics, guys make it so complicated so they give themselves an excuse to weasel out of stuff on both sides. And I think if we break it down to a simple humanitarian issue, that's fine. Now, do these kids need to do what they need to do? We need to get jobs. That's in the future. But right now, we've got. What bothers me the most about this entire.
They belong to somebody. They are not
That's
orphans,
true.
Christopher.
But their parents sent them over here because they loved them. And
Do
they
you
wanted to
not
make sure they didn't die.
understand that all around the world, people would like to have their children in America and grow up in America?
And they try to get them here. They just can't walk across the border.
That's exactly right.
They just can't walk across the border.
If you look at the situation that has gone on for how many years in Cuba, where people are actually dying just to get
on a piece of bubble wrap
exactly.
and float to Florida.
So what makes the fact that a group of people has discovered a way that will touch the American heart in such a way that we guiltily cannot do what we know is right for the country, then how does this make a change?
What I don't understand is why. What do you mean right for the country? These kids aren't bringing drugs in. I mean, what's right for the country? What do you mean? Because if we did what's right for the country, there's a list of things that need to be dealt with before the immigration.
Christopher, people, in order to have a country that is structurally sound, or anything, you know that, a business,
Right.
a family, a marriage, there have to be rules that you don't constantly move the position of.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with people immigrating to the United States. I'm absolutely for it. I absolutely believe in the idea of, bring me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses
By the way,
yearning to be free, that whole idea. I do believe that.
Unless it
But-
starts to take your money away. Unless it starts to take.
I'm
me too.
not even
I'm kinda like
discussing
that
a
too.
money issue.
Yeah, I'm kind of feel like that too. By the way, I feel like I like the sexuality, but don't bring everybody.
But the only reason that we go on as a country that has any viability, I mean, not every country, no country that I know of has been viable forever.
Right.
So to keep that viability, there has to be a structure that is for the best of the country, not for the best of everybody else. And that may sound cruel, but first and foremost, we are a country that has to take care of our own business.
Okay, that is a conservative view. This country would not exist, would not be the biggest economic power in the world without immigrants.
Where was
Would
the
not.
conservative view in that?
But here's the thing. Their law is law. You can't selectively say we have to follow that law where it benefits you, and we don't really have to follow that law because it's more emotional and sensitive.
What are the law? What are we talking about? What do
You-
don't just jump in the middle. What are you talking about?
What do you mean don't just jump in the middle?
No,
I'm
asking-
in the middle,
No, I'm
B.
asking what you mean.
I mean, it's the law. I'm for immigration as well if you follow the proper channels.
I agree.
Because a lot of people did. 1 million immigrants became legal permanent residents in 2011. It's like,
Right.
it's possible, you can do it, but we have laws, we have process, we have things that you
And
have to do
it's
first.
difficult.
I agree.
It's,
I'm not saying
it's
that- well, you guys are-
easy to walk across.
You guys are misreading me totally here. You guys are misreading me. I'm not
But you
saying that. I
simplified it
agree.
for us, Chris.
In this, no, you guys complicated it. You guys took the entire immigration issue. I'm talking about these children that are coming across. If my children were getting killed, I will tell you this right now. And I lived in Mexico, and I knew there was nothing I could do. I would send Kenny and Jet. I'd say, get on that train, and you get to America any way you can, and you get in there, and you cry, and you do what you have to do, but you save your lives. That's what I would say. Now, this I agree with 100%. Every freaking immigrant, every douchebag that walks across this border to find better work, you know what? Get in line and fill out your paperwork. Children being sent by their parents doing what they were told to do, I just kind of go, all right, do we let them in? I don't know. Reagan did. Reagan gave people keep forgetting. They bitch about Obama's policy in the DREAM Act.
Reagan did not let a trainload of children into the United States whose parents had sent them from Central America. No, Reagan did not
Reagan
do
gave
that.
11 million immigrants.
No.
I'm
they
sorry.
were already in this country.
That's what I'm saying. But he gave 11 million illegal aliens amnesty. 11 million illegal aliens. These are children. That's what I'm saying. Now, should they be sent back to their moms? Fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that. But I'm just saying is that these people protesting in Marietta right now, saying, there's a 9-year-old in there, and he's got these white people from England, by the way, who don't have any Indian in them, screaming, "Go home, get out of my country." I just want to go, hold on, time out. Let's track your genealogy back and see what happened when your people got jacked with at Ellis Island, or you people got beat the hell out of them in New York City.
Okay.
I'm saying that we can't, just because we're here, we're enjoying the fruits of this amazing land, why does it stop there? Oh, now that we have ours, let's put the walls up.
That's not what anybody said.
But these are kids.
Would it be different? Because you keep saying they're kids.
They are.
So it's okay. But why is
and I say
it?
it's okay. I'm saying that we have to do something in a humanitarian
I'm just
way.
asking.
Right.
I'm not arguing like you are. I'm just asking. I'm actually just wanting to speak that why is it worse
Speak.
for children
Go ahead.
to be killed or shot? Why is it? Because there are also some of those parents are 19 years old, 18 years old, 20. What's the cutoff where it's no longer okay for those people to be bussed in? You wouldn't be okay if it were the parents on the bus, right? You would say they need to go home because they're adults.
They need to figure out a way to get in the country legally. Look, everybody wants to come here. I'm saying that you got kids who don't have any guidance. I know my kids. My God, if I sent my kids from South America on a train and they made it to the U.S. border and got in this country, I got to be honest with you. They need some guidance right now. First of all, they're pretty self-reliant, but on top of that, they don't know what they're doing. They were doing what they were told. I'm saying
Also,
that
they get put into the
it's right.
system, which, as nobody would say that it's a good situation.
Well, what's happening now?
Why on earth would we want to do that?
What's happening now is, and I read about this morning, what they're doing is they set and our courts are so screwed up too. This is the other problem. They're not going right to trial. They're going into a room where they get a hearing date 3 months from now. Then they have a sponsor that takes care of them, or they get sent with relatives here. The people that are doing this in South America to save their kids' lives and get them an opportunity are pretty brilliant. I also believe that we need to start making immigrants accountable.
You think they're brilliant?
To save their kids' lives? Yeah, I think they're brilliant.
No, I think that they're not accountable to their own situation, and that they ought to, if they cannot take care of their children, they need to move with them somewhere and
I
take them
agree with
somewhere.
Talk
that.
about someone simplifying it. You've got gangs.
I'm talking about
There's
as a mother.
abs-
I'm going to put my children on a train into the unknown
Without you.
not knowing what's going to happen
What
to
if-
them. I don't think so.
What if the known was they're going to get shot tomorrow at school? What if the known was
If
they're
the
gonna,
known was they're going to get shot tomorrow at school, I'm going to go take them and move with them away from that place. I get
But
very,
who's simplifying it now, though? Who's simplifying it now?
I agree with this because you're opening up a whole other can of worms, which you like to say a lot when things happen and we let it go, that these parents have abandoned their children. They've sent their children here. No, it's not those kids' fault that they don't have any guidance here. It's the parents' fault. But the parents should make a decision just like you would. And I know you, 100%, you would never. You make it sound like a movie and it's beautiful. Kenny and Jet ride off into the sunset and save yourself.
No, it's horrible.
Not in a million years. You would fight your way out of that city. You would fight your way on foot with no money to defend and protect those children. I've seen you do it already in the Los Angeles court system.
Look, I'm a superhero. I agree with you. I am Batman and Superman and Spider-Man wrapped up in one with a little bit of Clint Eastwood mixed in. I get who I am. I know.
Sometimes you look like Clint Eastwood.
If everybody was like me, totally understand. But a single mother, Dang, nice, Mom. Thank you. That's a compliment, ladies.
That was the bone I
Ladies and gentlemen, please write down the compliment that was given to me by Bombshell. Thank you.
Willie is laughing.
Yeah, I don't think you look like Clint Eastwood at all, frankly. Let me just lean in and say, look like Richard Cunningham got jacked up in some sort of a blender. That's what it looked like. So you may see the little toughness out of the Clint Eastwood, but I don't see it. I don't see it. It looks like it needs plastic surgery. That's what he needs.
Oh my God.
Thanks, man. Wow, you just started like on such a weird level.
No, man, I just joined in. I didn't start it. She started it. I just joined in.
So here's what I'll say. So I agree. But a single mother. Okay, you're 36. You've got 4 kids, which would not be, you wouldn't be raised by her then. Let's say that. I'm just saying, you've got that going on. Why are you shaking your head? I'm just telling you, she's shaking her head. And you have 4 kids, and they're going to be killed. There's gangs. There's no employment in these countries. The economy sucks. So everyone's taken to crime. They're taking children. They're kidnapping them, charging people ransom for all their kids.
Then what the hell are you doing living there with your children if you're worried for their safety?
You know, talk about simplifying it. You know, you're in a country that you got surrounded by other countries, the same kind of thing that you can't get into. I mean, I don't understand. You talk about someone simplifying it.
Well, then why didn't they send them to a Latin American country where that would not happen to them? They sent them to a country that they believe is fabulously wealthy, that will take them in no matter what, because we're bleeding hearts. We all are. Doesn't matter if you're liberal or conservative. We're all bleeding hearts up here. That's what they did.
So you think it's a cynical? You think on the parents' part it's a cynical thing? Is like, well, send them to America. They'll take care of them.
I guess if you really want to simplify it, why, if you live in an area like that, why are you having children? Because the responsibility starts there. When you have a child, you're responsible for it. You don't send them off. You don't give birth to them and then plan to send them away.
I know, but again, this is simple. Again, talk about someone simplifying it. Education.
Isn't simplifying good? I don't know where that word became a negative thing. I think simplification is.
Started it.
I know, but
yeah, she did say.
I like simple.
You just make it as simple, and it's hard to argue with simple.
What if we talked about?
But hell, he ain't hard to argue with, and he's simple.
Thank you. What? Did you just insult me?
Well, if you were more complicated, you would have understood I did.
Oh, my God. All right, dude. I'm glad you're back, and I hate that you're back.
You're welcome.
So listen. So yeah, but okay. Now let's go. Now, education of those places, they don't have public education. You got to remember, these people aren't educated. So they start having sex at 11 or 6 or 4, whatever they have. as I can just start, if I can just piss off everybody in the world right now.
My
So look, when they're fetuses, they get born, boom, they start having sex and start having kids. That's what happens. That's how it goes. So but they don't have the education that we have or the access to the things we have. So all I'm saying is we need to stop it. The last administration, the border fences didn't get built. The administration before that didn't get it handled. The Reagan gave them amnesty, and we had this weird time of peace for a very short time. But then it just continued on. What I don't understand is why the UN or somebody doesn't get on these countries' asses. Because people forget, and we know from Beijing and Squatchy, there's a war with Mexico on the border. We are at war.
But these kids are not from Mexico.
No, I know. But that's what I'm saying is that they're not going to stay in Mexico either with all the cartels. So you said send them to another Latin American country. Well, Mexico's economy is doing better than it was.
I didn't say that.
Me either.
Somebody said send them to another Latin American.
No,
you did.
That's not what she said. Mm-mm. But she did say the words. She did say the words Latin American country, but she didn't say send them.
Yeah, she did. Why don't you send them to or move?
No.
You said move to another Latin American country.
No, that's not what she said.
What did she say? I'm going to replay it. I'm going to go replay it.
She said.
I'm going to mark.
Do you want to say what you said?
No, you go ahead. I want to hear.
It was a question.
So what were they saying? Why didn't they?
She said, "Why didn't they then?"
Send them to
she didn't say
Latin
send them
country.
there. She said if Right.
Oh,
So,
wow.
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
If they were
I got to
simply-
call everybody on semantics on
Let
that
her
one there.
finish. No, because that wasn't what her intent was. You can't.
If
Even
they
I
were
heard it.
simply trying to take the children out of harm's way, out of being killed the next day, as you said,
Right.
then they did not need, first of all, to send them all the way to the United States of America. They did not need to put them on this train full of children, apparently full of children. So where is this? People have joined together and decided to do this. Christopher, you're simplifying something that can't be simplified like you're doing it.
No, I'm saying that it doesn't matter.
Here, I
the
have
simple
an
thing
idea.
is, kids showed up here, and are we going to send them right back into the same situation? They're in?
That's tough.
Unfortunately, as hard as that is,
Is that what'd you say?
I said that's tough.
So we're going to send them right back to get killed.
I don't know whether they're going to get killed or not, and neither do you.
So here's the problem.
By the way,
So
neither
why,
do you.
Why are people so mad about this? Why are people so angry? Because there's people fired up. There's people stopping buses. Let me ask you this. Let's move on, because you and I can argue about this all day. We don't agree on it. We won't. It's cool. I'm fine with that. I like that we can argue and not get along. But why are we okay with $9 billion disappearing in Iraq? Why are we okay?
That's
No. It's all no. It is. It's all no. I'm not. I'm just saying. Why are we okay when the killing or isn't happening here? When the problem is in another country, whether we created it or not, we don't
Christopher,
seem to
in
get fired up.
Syria, it's horrifying in Syria.
I know it's horrible
In
right now.
Iraq, it's horrifying
Right.
in Iraq. If we are going, if
I'm not talking
if
about you.
this is what you're talking about, if you're talking about taking everybody in where it's just horrifying, then we need to really research where the most horrifying places are and bring those people in here.
Well, I think it'd be Darfur.
And not only that,
You
when they
cannot
were
get in.
when they were lying children's bodies in the street in Syria, we did a podcast, and you were opposed to U.S. involvement in Syria.
I still am.
And they were laying children's bodies, 5,000 innocent people in the street, lines of children's bodies in the street, and you were opposed to our
Heartbreaking.
government getting involved.
Right, but I was also opposed to Iraq too, because those guys didn't attack us.
But you're politically opposed.
No.
Why aren't you politically opposed to what's going on in the countries where these children are being sent from? I don't know
I
what
am.
that whole situation is about.
I totally am. That's what I'm
But
saying.
we
That's what we
can't-
need to get involved.
I have
with.
an idea
Yeah.
to solve the whole problem.
Let's
because
nuke everybody.
that okay, I have another. That's my first, but I have one more.
All right, so nuke everybody's first.
Because
Yo, that's a solution. Here's what happened. You nuke everybody else go, damn, they nuke everybody. We should straighten
let's
up.
get in line. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, stop that train. Hey, Philip, John, get down. No, you ain't going. Why? Because they nuke everybody. That's what
Felipe
happened.
and one, actually.
I thought it was funny if I gave them American names. They sent them with American names. My name is Phil.
No, it's not.
No, my name is Phil.
Your name.
That's why I say my name is Phil.
It is hard, for me, because then but they counted on that. Is that if you came to me and said, "Could you turn these children around?" I don't think I could do that. It's hard. But I would propose that we reunite the children with their parents. Wherever. Like you could pick any war-torn area, Syria, Iraq. You could put them back where they're from. You could put them in Mexico where the cartels are. We send a reality show film crew. Very cheap. Costs nothing. Right?
She's a genius, man. I like this idea a lot.
Right? It's reality shows cost nothing to film.
We call it refugee reuniting.
We send them back, and then we let them fight their way out. It's like a superhero reality show.
Oh,
like
this is insane.
it's got MacGyver. It's got the most dangerous game. They're in
James
the jungle.
Bond-ish type
It's
thing.
got James Bond. So now they're making money. We're selling the TV show. We're making money. We
Right.
could sell all kinds of ads, like everything. Like we've given them a purpose. What do you think?
Interesting.
What would you call it?
I think it's a brilliant idea. Get Lost. No, that's not good. There's always a show called Lost. What would we call it? So you send the kids and they have to find their parents, or do you reunite them and have them fight? They form a rebel group. We film the rebel group.
I don't mind them having to find their parents.
So the first half of the season is they have to go find their parents. They drop the kids off back at the border, go find your parents. Once they find their parents, we send a couple of advisors, because we always seem to want to be sending advisors. We always want to send advisors.
And actually, we could go cam them. That would be cheaper.
There you go, a lot cheaper, and our guys won't get shot.
Right.
And then what we do is we basically hook them up with advisors who will basically walk them in. And then once all the kids and parents get together, they form a rebel group. and we call it rebel refugees, and they have to fight their way out of the country or take their government over and change the country.
But our producers, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
you mean you have to make a difference where you actually already
you
are?
You actually have to change the country, yeah.
Instead
it's like
of
winning
just
American
escaping?
Idol, except you win a whole country.
Brilliant.
There you go.
Brilliant. And power could shift from season to season. You don't know.
That's right. Well, yeah, there's a lot of countries in trouble.
But also because it's reality television.
We would call it Refugee Rebels Guatemala. And then the next
Brilliant.
year would be
Syria.
Refugee Syria. There you go.
Also, though, because it's reality television, we could leak information to the bad guys about where these people are.
No. We
that's
don't want
bad.
to. No, we don't
No,
want to do that.
that's
The bad
too-
guys. Bad guys are on their game. Plus, they'll probably have TVs.
We would totally.
They'll just be watching the season.
We would do that.
They'll figure it out.
But we would pretend we didn't, just like on reality television.
Right. It would sound like it was really real. Yeah. I think that the kid thing. I agree 100% with the adults. I think as cynical and horrible the parents were to say, get on a train, go to America, that at least you'll be able to eat and live, and we're not going to go because we can't, because we're adults. They won't let us in. I do see how cynical and wrong that is. I also, it's not the kids' fault. It's like I know a lot of douchebag white trash parents that are really horrible people, and their kids keep it together. And if you can get their kids away from them, they'll be okay.
Okay,
So
I have another
maybe we
idea.
should look at it like this. Maybe we should look at it as basically, why don't we just look at it as for these horrible parents that let their kids get on trains and go across the
Terrible
continent, we just go, it's just new foster care kids.
I got a better
that's
idea.
Exactly the issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I have a major problem with the law that we have that states if they cross the border, give birth to that kid here, and then leave, those kids have citizenship.
Is that still correct? Is that still?
I beg your
Still
pardon.
true.
Is it still working?
Under the commission of a crime, which was illegally entering our country, we give citizenship during the commission of a crime. No, thank you. Problem. That's a problem. But look, I got another solution.
Other
I'm going to fix
countries
everything
don't
for
do that.
everybody today.
You're British and Indian, so that means that people came over here,
And
committed crimes.
my own people killed my people.
Yeah, your people committed crimes against your people. And then those people came back and fought back and committed crimes supposedly on those people, so those people killed them. Your people destroyed your people.
My people gave my people a cornucopia
Yes, they did.
and then slaughtered them.
Yes, they did.
I have another idea.
Yeah, okay, I'm in.
I'm going to solve the problems in America now, too. Okay? This is a reality show.
Oh man, this scared me. I don't like when she get involved like this.
This is good. This is really good.
She already out of mind.
Yeah. Okay.
By
And
the way, I've already registered that Refugee Rebels with the Screen Actors Guild. Just so you know, while you guys were on, I went to the computer.
Refugee rebel.
Yeah, Refugee Rebels.
the catchphrase is, ¿Dónde está? Where are
I
you?
don't even know what that means.
Where are you?
Where are you? Yeah.
You've lived in
Donde.
California all your life
Okay.
and do not
See,
know
that's how
what
anti-immigrant I am.
means?
I am not learning.
Holy
He
Camolius.
has only done lesson 1-1 of Rosetta Stone,
Lean.
and he did that one 3 times.
Yes, I did it. That's right.
Can you say the women are in the kitchen or
mu-
cooking?
Mujeres en cocina.
in la.
En la cocina. Yeah.
Very good.
See,
That's all I got.
Okay, so you know on almost every podcast for the last 3 years you have complained about kids today in America.
Yes.
Which apparently you said something about gamers last week, which I totally tuned out, and people are mad. And I was trying to find news stories, and I said he said something about
he
gamers.
said something about
But you know,
Oh
you
yeah,
have,
I destroyed them. I think anybody that spends 6 hours a day staring at a television shit is wasting their life.
okay.
Go ahead.
Listen,
Unless you're watching drag racing,
right?
which
Exactly.
is what I do, and that's my 2 hours
And
and 30
that's
minutes.
totally fine.
Right,
Or
and then I go
street
out-
outlaws.
And then I go out and do something.
Okay, so a lot of gamers probably also go out and do something. Let's not generalize. Let's say that there are some people that game that also have jobs.
Or there's a lot of military guys that game. Yeah, I agree with that. If you're involved in something and it's your free time, okay. It's the people that take it to like anything.
You're talking
Psych
about
addicts,
the in the
heroin
mother's
addicts.
basement.
There you go. The 495-pound guy in his mother's basement who hasn't left, going, "I'm a wizard, Mom.
No, you're
Mom,
not.
I'm a
That's what
wizard.
he said last time.
Bring me my juice. I'm a wizard."
You did?
He didn't say this whole thing, but he said about being the wizard in his mother's basement.
Yes, Mom. I'm a
How'd you
12th
miss
level
that?
wizard, Mom.
That's what he said.
You know what my SATs were? He gave me a juice.
I like that guy, actually. His name is Destin, because she would have named him something with a lot of
With
hope and
hope, yeah,
promise,
yeah.
and then not parented him, and he would have turned into that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my idea. Because, you don't like kids today. They're not respectful. They still live at home. There's a large percentage of kids still living with their parents well into their 20s.
Why you sound like old man Mr. Johnson?
He does.
I don't like these kids today. Get off my lawn, damn it.
Yeah.
What you black kids doing on the corner singing? Stop singing.
No, what?
This ain't the 50s. What?
His daddy?
Okay, so we take these kids because the DREAM Act had a provision and still has a provision, has to be of good moral character. It's very important.
Who judges that? We have a Congress, guys who are getting arrested in airport
I would say that
airport bathrooms and stuff.
The largest majority of Los Angeles gangs are
Of good moral
illegal
character.
immigrants from Mexico. So they may not make the cut.
I don't think that's a fact.
It actually is, and I'll look up the percentage right now for you.
Yeah,
Agent Pink Squashy, by the way,
'cause by the way,
now is banging his head against his police car radio. He is so annoyed by this conversation.
She actually just basically said, "Ain't no black gangs in L.A." That's what
No,
basically
I
said.
didn't say. I said of illegal
even
immigrants.
You even racist against gangs.
You
baby.
tune out after the first two words. The largest percentage of illegal immigrants. That's what I said.
Are
Okay,
in
but
gangs.
look.
Oh, you're not saying the largest percentage of gangs are illegal immigrants. You're saying the largest percentage of illegal immigrants are in gangs? Everybody? Really?
No.
What about the guy that's pushing the little cart with the ice cream in it? Ding, 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 ding.
What?
Gelato, the gelato guy.
It's not gelato.
Whatever it is.
It's fruit with paprika on it or something and lime juice. Anyway, listen, here's my idea.
We are so horribly racist.
No, that's
Like
what
you
it
did
is.
in Central America?
Yeah,
in
it's the
Central
same thing.
Mexico?
He thinks it's racist, but that's actually what it is.
Go ahead.
With jicama.
Right.
I like that stuff.
So
She's not racist.
this reality show, right?
Right.
We take American kids versus these illegal immigrant kids, right? And it's like a standoff. There have to be like different tests, different.
So the final.
There's physical, right? Because a lot of our kids are fat.
So the final showdown would be whatever country your rebel family gets together. You would now have to go up against a bunch of kids from
For
the
citizenship.
Ozark. For citizenship. Wow, that's
Huh?
great.
Huh?
Our America. We're so soft in America.
Yep.
You live in some horrible war-torn country.
They're gonna
for
fight.
for 10 years, and then you send a bunch of American kids. Yeah, man. Hold on. Look at my phone. Stop it, dude. I'm texting. Like we would get our ass handed to us. We would get our ass handed to us.
And it would be like technical things, like because it couldn't all just be school types testing. It would be physical. There would be like respect things. There
Right.
would be survivalist things.
All right. Well, maybe some people from Ozarks would make it. There's some people from Texas that would kill in that area.
People from the Ozarks would never make the physical test.
Maybe.
You have people who live in the Ozarks. If I were you, I'd be careful.
I do not
They don't-
have people. I have acquired my new dad,
Yeah. Right.
but all those other people, I don't know them.
Well, guys, I don't think it's going to get solved. Here's what I wanted more thing on immigration. You can look this up too, because Mom gets mad when I just say stuff and without backing it up. Bombshell's like, you just say stuff. Currently, right now, we have it's already passed the Senate. The DREAM Act is actually through the Senate. The House won't even vote on it. The House will not even take a vote on it. And it's not because it's a horrible thing. Actually, some of the problems that are coming up right now would be fixed with it. And I'm sure there's other problems that wouldn't. That they would cause other problems. But that's how government works. That these guys in the House won't even vote on it because then there's a record of how they voted. Then in 2 years when they want to run for Congress again, they go, well, their opponent goes, you voted against the Immigration Act, so you hate immigrants. And boom, and they all know, they can all see the population changing. In 30 years, the Democratic Party will not be fat white men anymore. It just won't, because there won't be enough of them. There won't be enough of them. It's going away. It's actually going away because of the way the population's changing. They know that. So now what they've decided to do is just lock it down and not vote. We talked about this last week. Just don't vote on anything so there's no record of what we did, so then we can run on just the rhetoric and the bullshit that we say every election cycle.
Where on earth did you get that that's the reason that the majority of these people are not doing something, both Democrats and Republicans?
Democrats are pushing
Where
stuff through.
on earth?
Senate's
oh,
pushing it
my
through.
goodness, merciful heavens.
No one locked it up in the Senate. Senate's not locked up. They're pushing bills through. The House has stopped everything.
Yes.
Less you can't you again, this is a fact thing. You can't
La casa.
deny the fact that of the worst Congress in history, it's Truman's, right? It was Truman's. That these guys have done a third less than they did. And they've named post office. They have passed they call it the sequester cost us $34 billion. All the stuff they've done is screwed the country up. It's the most un-American group of people I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
What do you think?
I can't even begin to answer
treasonous.
that on any level.
I would say treasonous. They're
Wow.
actually treasonous. You just stop the government. So instead of voting no and just taking a no vote and taking a stand for something, you're willing to just not do anything. So there's no record of what you did. Do you think that's integrity?
Christopher, once again,
I'm
we have
asking.
simplified something to the point that you can't even argue the point.
Their job is supposed to vote on bills. They're not voting. You tell me what their job is. You tell me why it's okay that they cannot vote on everything that goes through. The Senate passes it. It gets sent to the House. The House refuses to vote on it and then causes a filibuster. You tell me, if my job is ditch digger and I don't pick the shovel up, I'm not a ditch digger anymore. So you tell me, you explain to me, you consider, I'm not simplifying it. Their job is to vote on bills.
Well, generally speaking, people that are all, by the way, elected
Right.
officials have reasons for why they do what they do. And I cannot imagine in my wildest dreams that every single person there is not voting for the reason that you said. The issues are not that simple. And I also know on both sides.
Then vote no then. Then vote no. Vote you don't like it then. It's a simple, do you like the bill or not? Yes or no?
Do I like it or
I'm
not?
just saying, it doesn't matter. Yes or no?
He's saying they have a yes or no. They can either vote yes or no.
If you hate it, vote no. Have the balls to vote no. The problem is they won't get elected again.
You know what? You ought to be like, who is it we were watching the other? Howard Stern. Because he can just say whatever he wants to, too. He takes.
What am I
he
saying?
Just
You're
gets
just
to say whatever he wants.
I'm not. Their job is to vote. Their job is to govern. Their job is to vote.
You told me that you were looking at all sides. I'm not hearing.
Well,
that.
I don't understand why this is weird. Either you vote yes or no for a bill, and they're not voting anything.
They won't vote anything.
I get that. Like, just do your job, whether you like it or not. No is fine. Yes is fine.
Right,
just
you
pick
hate
one.
Put it down. Slam the immigration bill. It's not going through the House. It's over. It's dead. Then it's over. Then they got to go back and do it again. There's not even that going on. Do your job. Yes or no. Your job is to vote on it. To stand there and not do anything.
Why do you think that bill will solve the situations that...
I'm not even...
He's not talking about any specific bill.
I'm talking everything. I'm talking about the new budget that the sequester that costs us all that money they refused to pass. I'm talking about the Jobs Act, about the Infrastructure Act. We have bridges falling down around this country that they won't vote on. I'm talking about all these things that would help this country, help employment, everything.
And all of those things they're not voting on because they don't want to go on record as having voted?
Right. Well, there's no term limits on these guys. They got to keep. Yeah. If they vote no on the Jobs Act, okay, right? Then their opponent next time can go, by the way, the whole infrastructure thing, the reason our country's falling apart is because of that guy right there who voted no. That's what they can say. They vote the immigration bill down. Okay, well, you know why? The reason that we have all the immigration problems on the border, that guy voted right there. That's what happens. That's how it works.
You were saying that our American public is so stupid that they elect a person based on one special interest?
Yes.
Wow.
Have you seen some of these people protesting? Both sides.
That our United States citizens, our voters.
You've been gone for a long time. You need to watch TV
well,
and
I'm
see
a voter.
some interviews.
I mean, I'm confused about what the problem is.
What? Yeah, exactly.
I have no idea why it's.
One guy
I feel like we've skipped some levels. I'm not sure. It's just a yes or no thing.
Yeah, just
do
vote.
your job.
Yeah, do your job.
And move on.
Yeah, pass the bill through. Don't pass it. Whatever.
But I guess maybe you don't know why all of them don't vote. But the amount of people in the House, dramatically it has increased that they have stopped voting. It used to be that we at least had a 48% and a 52% majority and whatever, but now it's like
we move forward. At least we're
48% never voted, didn't show up, and 52% said unsure.
So that's treasonous. In this country, I believe that is treasonous. You are not doing your job. The American people put you in that job to do your job. And by the way,
treason is not doing your job.
If it's actually if it's hurting the country,
treason is not doing it.
If it's hurting the country,
that's called lazy.
Yeah, treason.
You're saying that it's hurting the country.
Yeah,
they're making an active decision to do something
to hurt the country. They're making an active decision, and once one of those bridges goes down, and people go, "Oh my God, Obama didn't handle it." Obama's just going to go, "Those guys, this bill has been through the Senate for 3 years, and these guys refuse to vote on it." Do you think that's okay?
I think that the issue is much more complex than what you are saying.
She is talking like a politician. Do you know you're talking like a politician?
I think that the issues, you don't make decisions in on your family based on on one belief that you have. I know you don't.
I kind of do.
Hopefully
Depending on
you
what the-
don't.
yeah, I
you
do.
have to weigh, especially since all this.
Sometimes I
crap in the
make
last few
decisions
years,
based on
you've had to
absolutely no
really-
evidence. I make decisions pretty fast.
You've
Ask
had
her.
to make some really difficult decisions that you didn't like.
This
for a
Congress
variety
has
of
been
reasons.
compared to the 80th Do Nothing Congress. This House is actually on track to produce the lowest number of legislative proposals since the Clinton administration. They are now at 18% fewer bills compared with the same point in the previous Congress. It's the largest drop between Congresses in the period beginning in 1995.
And how much have they passed compared to the Do Nothing Congress?
Oh, compared to I don't know. I need to look that up. But I was just looking at as of recent time.
So here's my thing. I'll go back to this. Vote them all out. No incumbents 2014. No incumbents 2014. Democrats or Republicans.
And it does say that it's both parties, Republican and Democrat.
No incumbents 2014. No incumbents 2014. People, I'm going to have T-shirts made, and we're going to get it done. We're going to.
Brad Sherman, a Democrat from California, has introduced 2 bills this Congress,
One for post
and we
office.
elected him.
Yeah.
In the previous 6 years, he was responsible for 42.
And he's only done 2 this year. Mm-hmm. You know what?
Can I tell you my
In
perspective
this term.
on
I
that?
have a question.
I believe that before people continue to make new laws and new laws and new laws, they ought to take some old ones off.
Do you know?
Well, that's part of what a bill would propose.
Right, but
is
he's not doing
changing an
that.
old law, and they're not doing that. Is the point?
I wonder if this has to do with this. I wonder if this has to do with the Supreme Court making that decision about Citizens United that corporations can give as much money as they want because now if corporations can do that, that means if you vote against anything, a corporation can just body slam you.
It has a lot to do with that, but they're saying that if you look on the government website, they're actually not only not voting, they're not proposing at all. Whereas
because some company could come in and to get them, pay them, get out of there. We have destroyed our democratic system. Because I will tell you this: although his decisions were my favorite, he was my president. And when they asked us to go to the White House, we went, and we were nice to him. I wasn't D.L. Hughley that was going to go in front of me. He said, I don't have that gear. I can't be around the guy. I'm like, you know what? He's the president. I'm going. He's the president. They asked us to go. We're going. Sorry. If even a president I hated.
But we still took the hand soaps from the bathroom.
We did.
In the
We
White
took
House.
some towels. We took some towels. I'm going to read this. And we're going to go to news. All right. This is actually what is the poem that is actually on the statute of limitation. The statute of limitations. This is the. How about really? So you've been quiet. Let you read it.
All right, give me that, man. It says, not like the brazen giant of Greek fame, with conquering limbs astride from land to land. Here at our sea-washed sunset gate shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name, Mother of Exiles. From her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air bridge harbor that twin cities frame. Keep ancient lands, you storied pomp, cries she with silent lips. Give me your tide, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door.
The dough?
Unless you black, see, we weren't exactly invited in. We was actually kind of brought in.
Does it say golden dough?
Yeah, let me see that. Give me this. Yeah, there's an R there, but he's very Willie. You're a little bit what's the word I'm looking for? He's conservative with his R's.
Yes, he is.
Damn right. Hey, there's one. See, I said right.
Okay.
So, guys, when you think about it, that's what we've believed in. That's who our country has been for a long time. I agree there's a point when it's become too much, but we need to do something. All right, moving on. And now, from continent to continent, and sea to shining sea, and sometimes in space, it's Bombshell Rae. Willie?
With the bombshell news. Yeah, damn right. You go, girl.
I say that. You go, girl.
No, you don't ever say that.
I never say
again.
that ever in my life.
No, you didn't. This story was sent in by Matthew Miles, I believe. Ku Klux Klan is recruiting with candy in South Carolina.
It's the same thing the Taliban uses.
Some residents in South Carolina have said that they found bags of candy on their street that contained a piece of paper asking people to join the KKK. I guess the KKK had distributed the bags all around the area. And it has a phone number that leads to an automated message that discusses the KKK efforts against illegal immigration. The station, if you call in, it also reported that it says, if it ain't white, it ain't right. White
By the way,
power.
the reason they
We would not make it then.
The reason they're giving out candy is because most people in the Ku Klux Klan don't have teeth, so they're trying to get that started. Get the recruitment effort so they look like everybody else. Get candy, get the teeth knocked out.
Suck on this, we'll see you in 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. When your teeth are gone, you're in.
You know,
Or
how
you're a Grand Poobah or a King, whatever they call him.
Kamehameha. How did they?
You're a King Kamehameha. That's
How
what
did they define white? Would be my question, because we wouldn't qualify.
I know.
Most likely.
Most people wouldn't.
Yeah,
They
I'm
wouldn't.
just wondering.
Yeah, in this country, most people wouldn't go.
We actually had a video a couple years ago where it was the guy, they had videoed this guy finding out he was, what are they called? The Grand Dragon Master? Dragon guy?
He was slave ancestors.
That he was descended from African American people. It was a pretty awesome video to watch.
Great. Because
And then we had another story where the KKK guy was arrested for, it was black male prostitutes, right?
Right.
Or
right. Yeah, he was.
it was a double whammy.
Yeah, here's the thing, man. It's hard in this country, especially the way we all mix and mingle. That, man, you ain't there's some black in every one of us, or there has been, or there might be.
Well,
Stop.
what?
She's right here.
Not
She's
just
sitting right-
black.
Right. I know. I agree with that 100%. Black, Indian. It's in that any group still in this time with everything that has gone on, that you still, if it ain't white, it ain't right. It's comical. At
Then
this
it's
point.
definitely not right. And anywhere, everywhere. There is no.
Just white.
Maybe in Iceland.
Maybe.
You know, the odd thing is that most countries in the world I've ever been in, if a person is lighter, of whatever color, whether it's Arab or it's, Indian or whatever it is, Indian, Japanese, that if you're darker, you're sort of looked down on. Isn't that the oddest thing?
Even within the
all
same
over
colored
the world.
people?
Yeah, all over the world. It's bizarre. It's truly bizarre. It's the same thing.
I wonder what that is. That's got to be a DNA thing. That's got to be in our system somewhere.
I don't know.
It's
I don't
interesting.
know. I've never understood it.
So across the world, whether you're really, really dark-skinned Indian people
Or
Arab,
Quite often Arab. At least I've certainly experienced being in the midst of people talking
Ain't
about
nobody
it.
like a Negro, man. Whatever race you is, if you're the Negro of that race, you're in trouble. Damn. It ain't working out.
You don't look like you're in trouble, Willie.
Yeah, well, I hang out like I hang out, and I do what I do.
You got enough gold in those teeth.
By the way,
Yo, that's the first time you guys even mentioned my grill, man. You guys don't even mention it.
I thought it was racist if I brought it up. I didn't know. If I
Oh,
was
they're
gonna say-
beautiful.
That's right. I could have had a house,
like
but I
bling.
figured I don't need no place to live. I got my teeth.
Dude, stop.
Rachel and I like bling.
You gotta stop.
by the way, you got a letter and a package from Agent Pink Squashy last night.
I opened it this morning. I would like to send a shout out to Agent Pink. Yo, dude, thank you very much. The man sent me a box, and inside the box was a beautiful Courvoisier snifter.
2 of them.
Yeah, it was beautiful, man.
And a letter.
And it says Courvoisier on it, man.
Because it was the anniversary, apparently, of your initial appearance.
Yeah, and
here.
that's how I like. All you fans out there that love Willie, really love you back. But now we got empty classes. Want you send some Courvoisier?
It'd be great. Now he's asking for something for the glasses. Well, congratulations. I'm glad you're on the show when you're on the show.
I do what I can. Sometimes I got business to handle. You know how it is.
He and Agent Pink Squashy together on tour, they would just disappear for periods of time.
Yeah, and they would both come back a little more hammered. It was not good. It was not good.
Okay, so this is in Georgia. This man is saying that, oh, by the way, he was drunk. And I think I've had this happen before. A drunk man says that dog drove him to the store. He was not driving. He was arrested.
Dog the bounty hunter?
No, his dog.
I love that that's where he went. That's the desperate mind of an alcoholic. It wasn't me. Dog did it.
Well, the sheriff actually responded to a call about a dog being locked in a car at this food store in Georgia. It was like 123 degrees inside the car.
Wow.
Inside of the car smelled of gasoline. And anyway, he said that his dog, when he was brought out and arrested, that his dog drove him to the store to buy some corn.
What? How drunk do you have to be where you don't even have that filter where you go, well, this isn't going to work? Where you don't even have that part of your brain that says, I shouldn't even say that because I'm getting arrested pretty much. If you're so drunk that you told the cop your dog drove, you're getting arrested. You're just getting arrested. That's how it is. You're done.
For corn. It's detailed.
He's making mash.
The dog wanted corn, so he drove him there.
Watching TV, the dog won't stop with the corn. I want some corn. I want some corn.
He's been charged with DUI and animal cruelty. But had he just taken the dog into the store with him to push the cart around, he would not have been busted.
In a related story, the dog got a contract with Rick Hendricks at NASCAR, and he'll be driving in the Daytona 500 next year.
For corn.
Yeah. He's going to be faster than Danica Patrick.
It'll be the Del Monte car.
Nice. You brought it all around.
good.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, she think better than you, man. She quicker than you.
I know. That's why I married her.
Let's hippity hop on
But she's
over.
obviously not that quick.
Let's hoppity hop on over to England, where you think the people are beautiful.
I do like older people in England up to about 24, and then it just slides.
Well, this girl is perfect. She's 23.
Perfect.
She accidentally had £52,000 transferred into her account. She then did not return it. She went on a spending spree, and in less than a short amount of time, I guess 24 hours, she had spent £9,000 already shopping. The court has now ordered her to repay the cash with interest by Christmas, or she goes to jail. She says that the court has made an example of her, and they're only forcing her to repay because she is beautiful.
That's about $20,000. That's pretty beautiful.
I'm glad she's not narcissistic at all.
It's because she's beautiful. She went on a designer shopping spree, but she's 23. If they just wait another year, which courts take forever, they get backlogged, she won't be able to use that defense.
She won't be beautiful anymore. By the way, to all you English people, because we have some listeners in England, I want you guys to know, please send me a list of people that have stayed beautiful in England. I'm fine with that. Just send, like we all deteriorate, but man, what is it with you guys in the slide?
What about Helen Mirren? She's
you know what she was. I would. There you go. She was. They had pictures when she was young. She was gorgeous, young, really gorgeous, and she's still really beautiful. You know what? Is that an internal thing? No, she didn't let her teeth go, and she didn't let some things happen. Yeah, some things didn't fall off. It seems British people have things fall off a lot.
Kate Beckinsale is
how old is she?
British. She's who that is.
Who is that?
Kate Beckinsale.
I know
she's
the
very
name.
pretty.
What was she in? What am I thinking?
She's been in a ton of stuff. Keira Knightley.
She's not even 24 yet, is she?
Yeah.
Is she 30?
Yeah.
She's a pretty young man, Keira Knightley. Yes.
What?
young man.
Have you seen
her? Okay.
Catherine Zeta-Jones. They're listing her, but I didn't think she was British. I thought she was...
Is she British?
She's British, but doesn't she have other
Maybe, I
heritage?
want to make a caveat to that. I think it's the men, British men. Give me a list of British men. Sean Connery.
Well, I actually...
That's
No, he's
Scottish,
not-
Scottish. Right.
Yeah, I thought of him, and then I thought the guy that plays James Bond. No, that's Daniel Craig.
And
he's not
Welsh, right?
Yeah,
He's
he's
Welsh.
not British.
See?
What I don't know.
We got Benny Hill. We got the Monty Python guys. I mean, there's nobody.
Actually, when you look up the most beautiful British men, they're all like children or not.
Right, they're young guys.
Or they're just not pretty.
Well, actually, Cary Grant was gorgeous.
Ooh, Daniel Craig is on that list, and he's got no shirt on, and he's in the water in that list.
It's Welsh.
He's on the British list, 44 years old,
He's
and I
not
think
a
you'll
Brit, though,
agree.
is he?
That's a picture that's from the first James Bond movie.
That's
He doesn't
done
look
stuff,
like that
right?
now. His pecs have fallen off. his pecs just.
So anyway, yeah, send us in because top 5.
Yeah, I just basically trashed an entire species of people from a country, so I want to make sure I lose that one.
I'm totally jealous of the accent. I loved it. That's my favorite accent.
That's how it gets over. That's how they work. That's how.
I would, in a heartbeat, before I knew you, I would have dated a really ugly
even the super
British
guys,
guy.
Mick Jagger. I mean, even their super guy. It's like you just go right.
Oof.
That joke I used to do, uglier than a Rolling Stones group photo.
And Keith, yeah.
That's a
They
lot
are
of
not
ugly.
gorgeous.
By the way, this is also...
I'm not saying I look like Richie Cunningham.
Actually, Tom McCartney's still
I'm
pretty well
Paul
preserved.
McCartney?
Tom McCartney?
No,
Tom
did I say
McCartney?
Tom?
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Paul.
Yeah. So I'm a borderline ginger goofball. I'm not saying I'm good looking at all. I'm just saying there seems to be a genetic unraveling about age 25 with British men. I'll leave it at that.
If Daniel Craig is British, then he disproves all of that.
Well, he's from the UK, but I think he's Welsh. I'm almost
Oh,
positive.
so they're just
They were like, for God's
anyone
sakes.
in the region.
I say, can we put Daniel Craig on the list? For God's sake, what an ugly bunch of sods these are. We get someone to pull us out of this hole.
Or if you're a listener and you are good looking, put your picture on Titus Podcast page on Facebook.
But you've got to be over 25. Now, if you're just borderline 25, it will hold a lot of weight. But if you're 40 and you're just carrying it and you look like a badass, let's send it in. And we'll put it up. We'll be like, oh, right, it's a good-looking British bloke right there. Yeah.
This story is also in Georgia, and I'd like to give out my address after this story for this burglar to come to my house. An Athens woman has returned home this week on Wednesday to discover a man broke into her home to clean it. He stole a pair of earphones, and that was all that was missing. But he came in, removed a screen window to get in while she was gone. He or she took a pair of Beats by Dre headphones. But other than that, he mopped the whole house, cleaned out the litter boxes, put the trash out in the garbage can, put the garbage can by the curb, vacuumed, dusted. I'm in. I live at 123 Sunnyvale Street.
It's a little pricey. Beats
Los
headphones
Angeles.
are pretty expensive.
$85, she said the value. She had the low end ones.
Maybe it was her mother.
Well, that's about right. Good for you.
Maybe it was her mother. Her mother was tired of her
I
house
am
being so
tired of
trashy.
this house. I cannot spend another
These
day
are nice
here.
headphones.
Yeah. I need something to listen to. I'm cleaning this horrible hell pit.
She'll never notice.
Right.
She's stupid. Massachusetts police have requested that Uxbridge residents please stop dropping poop on passing trains.
Yo, man, kids will be kids, right? Speaking of poop, man, tell them what happened over in Newport Beach yesterday.
Okay, we're walking our dogs. By the way, if you have weenie house dogs and you take them out into a crowd, oh my God.
It was a street fair, wall-to-wall people.
So we went from basically a house where they're the only two animals around, took them in the street fair where it was everyone's walking their dogs. Our dogs are losing their minds the entire time. Chaplin, he's pulling on the harness the whole time, and he thinks he's 55 pounds, and he's 5 pounds, and man...
He actually barked at Hannibal Shepherd. There was a German Shepherd with a wire cage around its whole snout.
He had it looked like he had a you know those when you go to the golf range and you get the golf balls. It looked like he had a basket around his face. So, and when your dog is walking around the metal basket on his face, it is. She called it Ray called it Bombshell called it Hannibal Shepherd. So he starts barking at it, and the dog very very slowly just looked at a little Yorkie like, "Can I help you?" and it was weird because the dog was pulling on a leash and the pulling stopped. And he one more tug, and then he turned the other way and
he
walked.
said, "Barf."
Yeah, he said, "Yeah, like nice basket on your face," and he walked away.
Barf.
So we're walking, and the dog takes a dump on the thing. I didn't really see it. I kept walking, and then you said,
It's because he pulls the old switcheroo. He's embarrassed by his own pooping, and so he has now started lifting his leg on a tree. And while he's got his leg hiked up in the air, he poops and then runs away from it. It's very shameful, all of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we do that to him?
Yes.
Okay. So literally, these two skateboard kids are walking 20 feet behind us, and I hear, "Damn it, crap!" And I look, and this poor kid has got dog poop smooshed up into his Vans treads, and I'm like, "Oh, sorry." And I felt so guilty. I turned back to him, and I called him. I'm like, "Dude, I think that was my dog. I'm really sorry. I'm really apologizing." He was totally cool. I already got off, bro. I'm good. I already got off. That's Huntington Beach. That's already off, bro. We're good.
Anyway, this is in Massachusetts, and the government has come out and actually asked, or the police has asked them to please stop because people are pooping off of the bridge on Route 122, and the poop is landing on top of the cargo trains. And how they initially noticed it was they weigh cargo. They weighed it at the first stop, and then they weigh, and it was off. It was different.
How much poop are people pooping on the trains? Where is this at? Is this India?
Massachusetts. Uxbridge, Massachusetts.
This is not India. This is not somewhere.
No.
There's a line. So what? Did they not have running water or plumbing in Massachusetts?
And I'm sure it was kids, right?
Yeah, but that's a lot of kids. Was it a school project?
How
do you change the weight of a train with poop?
How would you hit it?
How would you do it off of a bridge?
I think there's something more to the story that we don't know.
There needs to be some quiet time.
Need a magazine, some minutes.
Some new age music.
You got to be ready to go when the train's going by.
The squatty potty.
Squatty potty, man. I cannot believe it.
Somebody, where did we see that? It was a
on
commercial,
it was
right?
a commercial news, the squatty bot. You know, we were designed to be squatting and pooping. That's the commercial like, we're designed to be squatting and pooping. Your knees have got to be much higher than your hips. But the normal toilets don't let that happen. So you have horrible digestive problems, blah, blah, blah. Order the squatty potty, which I guess is a bench that you put at the end of your toilet so it lifts your leg up. So you lift your legs up so your knees are up where your shoulders are.
And it says squatty potty on it. Oh, she likes it. She's in.
Oh, my gosh.
Look it up, people. It's
Don't look it up.
just buy it.
No, don't buy it. If you were born in Pennsylvania between 1893 and 1897, you may have just gotten your draft letter reminding you to register for the draft. The Selective Service System keeps a roster of potential men who can be enlisted in the military. They accidentally sent out mailings to more than 14,000 Pennsylvania men born between 1893 and 1897, reminding them that they need to register for the draft.
And again, the government works like a well-oiled machine. It is a Swiss watch, our government. Wow. That's great.
The letters started going out this past June 30th, and they would have been sent to men who were at least 117 years old.
Wow. I got to tell you, I saw Hillary Clinton on Jon Stewart's show last night, and she said something I haven't heard a politician say. She said our infrastructure with like computers and stuff, we can't react. He said we can't even now. We have just so much bureaucratic crap in the way that we can't even react as a country anymore. We're really getting kind of mired in it. What do you think about her? I mean, I know from her there's some real shady stuff, but what do you think about her?
I think that she's really problematic.
Yeah.
You know, we've all lived through the time of when Clinton was president, and too many things unanswered. I think she did a great job, or a very good job, as Secretary of State. I think that she was respected around the world pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
You know, it was the biggest time of economic growth in the last 50 years during Clinton's presidency.
Well, a lot of that had to do with NAFTA during Clinton's presidency.
No, it actually had to do not with NAFTA because it didn't get put until later, but it would have to do with the tech boom. Silicon Valley basically saved Clinton's ass, but it was during his time, and
we're not talking about his presidency.
No,
she was the president's wife. That's a
right.
whole
no. Just saying that.
Different area.
Do you think she would be a good president or a bad president? Like her or hate her? Do you think she'd be a good or bad president?
Again, I don't think we can trust her.
Can we have trust anyone? The only thing
that's the question.
Like Roosevelt, I mean, who can we trust really? If you once it comes out after all the documents get released 50 years after they're out of office, you go, holy crap! Gerald Ford was inept, and we could trust him. You know, Carter was a good man, but not the best leader.
And also, Clinton was president from 1993 to 2001, and NAFTA was signed in 1994. He signed it at the beginning of his presidency.
So I guess it was by the end it was paying off. But it really started screwing the country after he left.
I cure you.
You're right. I see the difference between me and you guys is I'll just go, oh, you're right, okay, good.
The difference between you
and by the way, it's a lot more complicated than that. You know, if they instill above, it's complicated. You're making it simple.
This whole simple thing between the two of you, I don't get it.
She's calling me
part
simple.
of why I didn't know that you.
Sometimes you got to call simple.
Part of
I just think you use sound bites as opposed to really looking at things from both sides and trying to go through the process. I think
man, you should run for Congress, man. You know how to use it already.
You do.
Everybody should run for Congress. That's how it was intended.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. Then we get all these douchebags out of there because
listeners
they douchebags
of Titus podcast.
I agree with him.
Should run for Congress, and we should just see how many get in.
We're gonna wrap up the news, but I want to say that we're back to this now. Vote them out. 2014. No incumbents. 2014.
I'm ending on a positive.
No incumbents. 2014.
Story.
Everybody. Democrats, Republicans, gone. Because it'll switch it. It'll be exactly the same, except the new guys will be like, we better get some stuff done.
Vote.
Yep.
Them out.
Good. 2014.
After an injured vet waited 2 years for a wheelchair, he went to Lowe's. He was cruising around Lowe's. He's missing both of his legs.
Cruising in like a rascal? Or he had his new wheelchair?
He had a regular wheelchair that the VA was not fixing because he was caught up in the paperwork. He'd been waiting 2 years. His wheelchair breaks constantly. He has no other way to move or get around. And basically he stepped on a landmine in Vietnam, lost both of his legs above the knee. So his chair completely breaks down inside of Lowe's when 3 strangers stepped in to fix it. And there's video of them inside of Lowe's completely taking it apart and fixing it. He ended up writing a full letter to the Staten Island Advance to share the whole story. and express his gratitude. But 3 people that worked at Lowe's just jumped in, and they spent a couple hours. They replaced the broken parts for free. They told him, we're going to make this chair just like new. And he left 45 minutes after the store closed. They worked after the store was already closed.
That's what I'm talking about. There we go.
And he left with what was basically a brand new wheelchair because of all the new parts.
That's the America I love. The people this week that actually also saw some kids in a car, in a Jeep, locked in a Jeep, and they just broke the window and got the kids out. Because Mom, I just left them in to go get a haircut. You left them out in the sun when you go get a haircut? You idiot. I'm glad they went and got the kids out. And then she convinced him to not file charge. She convinced him to not call the cops.
Yep.
That's wrong.
I love that they didn't call the cops, but they called the news, which is way worse condemnation than the cops.
Because it may not have made the news had they called the cops.
By the way, if you want to see us, we are going to be in Denver at Comedy Works Landmark Place this weekend, the 17th through the 19th, Thursday through Saturday. Then we are taking a week of vacazione.
Whee!
And the week after that, we're going to be in Philly at Helium, another club that we love, July 31st through August the 2nd, Thursday through Saturday.
Right. Also, guys, thank you so much to Sacramento. We destroyed at that theater in Sacramento.
That was awesome.
The Edison? No, Crest.
The Crest.
Crest Theater. What an amazing crowd. What an amazing crowd. And then we did Santa Cruz, and it was great. Except for no air conditioning. They were just kick-ass. It was just great. It was phenomenal. And thank you for going on tour with us. And again, I love that we can talk. And I said this, and someone brought this up to me on the road. I love that you and I can totally have the opposite views, and we don't hate each other's guts at the end. You know, it's just like we've talked about it. Okay, I got it. All right, let's move on. Because we know that this conversation ain't going to change it. That's what everybody thinks. Everybody thinks that they're making policy.
Christopher, we started off with a disagreement. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We started off our first...
the first dinner, I think, wasn't it? The first dinner?
No. We started off where you were calling me when I was in school. I was back in grad school, and you were calling me to tell me...
All right, this has been the Titus Podcast. Thanks for listening.
I remember that. It was fun.
Okay, good.
All right, guys, it's Titus Podcast, and I love you, Mom.
I love you, too.
For Bombshell Rae, I'm Christopher Titus. This is the Titus Podcast. By the way, click through the Amazon link if you want something. If you're buying something for summer, click through the Titus page and then click through the Amazon link. We get a little something. Keeps us going on the air, and I really appreciate it. We don't take a lot of advertising because of that, because we don't want to have our stuff colored like Congress. I'm Christopher Titus. For myself, Bombshell Rae, and Momshell. Later.
Peace out.
Hasta la vista.
What about, is Willie just going to come back in ever? And
dude, you got to say goodbye.
Jello.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know you guys in it, man. I'm still trying to get the damn thing for the Screen Actors Guild for the damn Refugee Rebel thing. We gonna get that. We doing that show, man.
He's sitting on the computer.
I'm gonna be one of them advisors.